Hello everyone, and welcome to this TunnelBear review. As per usual with these VPN reviews, I aim to help you make an educated decision on whether the VPN in question is befitting of your situation or not by taking an in-depth look at the privacy policy, speed, streaming and torrenting capabilities, as well as security and features. And if at any point you'd like to check for pricing or available discounts, you'll find everything you're looking for in the description below. So one of the most important features a VPN can offer is a trustworthy privacy policy that backs up its claims with evidence, and that evidence usually comes in the form of independently audited privacy policy reports. TunnelBear, despite being a small provider, compared to other VPN giants, maintains a high degree of transparency, publishing annual transparency reports in which they show government subpoenas and requests, which of these requests they do answer to and which they do not. In 2017, they have also allowed Byte255 to look into TunnelBear's code and publish the results on hackernoon.com, concluding that TunnelBear had no privacy or data collection issues. 3 more reports were carried out by Cure53, the latest of which having been published in January 2020, discovering vulnerabilities of various severity levels and assisting TunnelBear in mitigating all the issues and fixing them. And despite the vulnerabilities, Cure53 concluded that TunnelBear was a clear frontrunner among its VPN competitors when it comes to security. And their privacy policy is also very well detailed and transparent on the level of data collection. They do collect your email to confirm that you're a user, but they don't really collect identifiable data or anything that can be linked back to a specific user. And besides that, TunnelBear has never been breached or suffered any security malfunctions in the past, neither before nor after being acquired by McAfee in early 2018. Though TunnelBear is based in Canada, under the Five Eyes jurisdiction, handing out information to governments won't really do much since they collect very little logs that nothing of true substance can be provided. And so in terms of privacy policy, there's not much to complain about. And according to the audits and transparency reports, TunnelBear passes as a very private and trustworthy VPN. Now when it comes to speed, it's only natural for your internet speed to drop when connected to a VPN since you're connected to servers that are essentially outside your local region. Of course, a good VPN will help to minimize that drop in speed in order to stay as close to your base speed as possible. Drops between 10 and 20% are considered to be great, and anything between 20 to 40% is still good, granted your base speed is fast enough to take a nearly 50% drop in speed. In my case, my speed has a cap at 5 megabits per second, so I'd like for a VPN that doesn't really force me to compromise on speed much more than that. And so in this speed test, my base speed measured at 4.85 megabits per second. And having tested some nearby European servers, the results were very much acceptable. No drops above 15%, at least for these 3 servers. As for the international servers, however, the results were not so impressive. I've tested many VPNs before where you can still get some really good results depending on which server you select from far regions. But since TunnelBear doesn't really allow you to select servers, you're only able to select countries, you're stuck with whatever server TunnelBear connects you to. A 57% drop on the South Korean server is a big deal, especially that my download speed is already not so impressive. And you'd think I can get better speeds with the United States server, but not so much better, unfortunately. So speed-wise, you'll have to stick to nearby servers within the same continent, you could say, if you want acceptably better speeds with TunnelBear. Otherwise, your connection will suffer some big drops. And in terms of streaming and torrenting, simply put, if you plan to bypass geo-restrictions using TunnelBear to stream Netflix or any other streaming service, then just forget about it. TunnelBear can't do any of that. Though it did manage to unblock Disney Plus in my testing, I wouldn't expect it to reliably be able to stream with such speeds and poor streaming capabilities. According to support, you may end up bypassing geo-restrictions, but it's not something that TunnelBear focuses on. And if you happen to actually unblock some kind of geo-restricted service, it's inadvertent, and not because they intended to unblock any service, which is probably what happened when I unblocked Disney Plus. In the past, TunnelBear was completely against torrenting and file sharing, but now I'm guessing they realized that that sentiment is not exactly in line with full internet freedom, and now they do allow such activities, but only on a handful of servers in Canada, the United States, UK, Romania, Netherlands, Germany, and Sweden. I tried the US, UK, and Canadian servers. None of them worked for peer-to-peer activity except for the Canadian one. And if that doesn't work, you can try your luck with the other ones, in which case you'll probably find one that works. But then again, if you plan to frequently download torrents, then TunnelBear will prove to be more of a time-consuming nuisance rather than really helpful. So if you ask me, I definitely would not recommend TunnelBear for streaming or torrenting, not at all. They clearly have not invested in allowing for streaming or torrenting services, or perhaps they're just not interested in such services given their stance on not allowing users to exchange copyrighted content and such. Or, according to support, they say that it's just a very difficult, time-consuming battle to keep fighting the blocks imposed by streaming services, but it doesn't seem very difficult for other VPN providers such as Surfshark, Nord, or Express, even other smaller VPNs. TunnelBear does provide excellent security with the standard 256-bit encryption using OpenVPN and IKEv2. TunnelBear won't let you select protocols. Instead, the application will automatically select protocols for you depending on which protocol connects to the servers first. TunnelBear also has DNS leak protection, and when tested, no leaks were detected. You also get other security features like the kill switch, which is called Vigilant Bear, to protect your data from leaking when the VPN disconnects unexpectedly, and Ghost Bear, which is essentially obfuscation to help users bypass firewalls in censorship-heavy countries like the UAE or Turkey. Though according to reports, the VPN doesn't seem to be very effective in China, especially since they've removed their Hong Kong servers. And one more feature is split tunneling, which weirdly enough you'll only find it in the Android app. And it's not full split tunneling, but rather just the ability to select which apps can bypass the VPN tunnel. Besides that, no other features are available. TunnelBear has only 33 countries available with an undisclosed amount of servers, and I assume it's very little servers. TunnelBear will allow users to secure up to 5 simultaneous connections per subscription. TunnelBear can be used for free, but with a monthly limit of 500 megabytes, which is fair enough because it's only meant to let the users get a feel for the full service so that you can actually subscribe. As for the paid version, it's going to come at a monthly $9.99, a yearly $4.99, and a 3-year plan that drops the price to $3.33 per month, which is not very expensive but also not so cheap considering the lack of features. Now, if I happen to find any discounts, I'll be sure to include them in the description below, so be sure to check there if you're interested. But do keep in mind, they don't have a money-back guarantee as stated in their terms of service, and they don't really have any live chat support to quickly answer your questions. Instead, you'll have to expect an answer to your questions within 24 hours of sending your ticket. But in my experience, they responded to my email in 3 hours. Although I had to wait 3 hours for this, the email I received contained all the information I was looking for and more, and it was very well written and carefully detailed, and I really do appreciate that. Now, TunnelBear claimed that they prioritize paid accounts with customer support, and after having submitted a ticket from a paid account, I got a response in about double the time as the one submitted from the free account, about 6 hours and a half. I asked about the number of available servers and if they run their servers on RAM disk mode or hard drive still. Which, if you didn't know, RAM disk servers won't have any physical drives to store data in, so it's better for privacy. They didn't answer my question about the servers for privacy reasons apparently, and they either ignored my question about the RAM disk servers or didn't really understand what I was talking about. So to put it simply, I feel like the one who answered my email from the free account did a much better job than the one who responded on the paid account, which means paid accounts don't necessarily get the priority that they claim to give, at least no more than the free accounts. As far as I'm concerned, it looks like the free accounts get better answers. Now to conclude, I think TunnelBear is definitely a good VPN with an excellent record in privacy and security, and that matters to a lot of people. It's also made to look very appealing with these great animations and super easy to use. In my opinion, I think this VPN is made to just secure your browsing data and information while on public Wi-Fi, giving you the option to immediately connect to the VPN the moment your device is connected to a foreign network. Besides that though, TunnelBear has nothing else going on for it. It lacks so many features, even the most basic of which, like the ability to choose protocols, no streaming capabilities, and very weak peer-to-peer support. TunnelBear is designed to simply fulfill the most basic of what a VPN can do, and it does a very good and secure job at that. It definitely deserves credit for publishing multiple audit reports highlighting their vulnerabilities and expressing their willingness to work on their weaknesses, as well as releasing annual transparency reports. Most other smaller VPNs fail to uphold their privacy policies, but TunnelBear can be compared to other VPN giants like Express and Nord when it comes to the integrity of their privacy policy. Now that being said, if you found that TunnelBear doesn't really offer what you're looking for, and now you're looking for another VPN that can do everything, including full streaming and torrenting support, multiple protocols, full split tunneling, and various other security features, then you might want to check out my top 3 VPNs video. And if you'd rather go straight to the websites to check for pricing, I'll link those in the description below, so be sure to keep an eye out for those as well. Besides that, if you enjoyed this review or found it to be helpful, please consider leaving a rating and subscribe to support the channel. And let me know what your experience was like with TunnelBear. Is it mostly positive or negative? And would you get TunnelBear just to secure your data while you're on public Wi-Fi? I'd love to know why you guys would use TunnelBear, considering that it has very little features. And now that a lot of people today look for VPNs specifically to unblock Netflix, how do you feel about TunnelBear offering none of that? Do you think it's worth it? I'd love to talk to you guys down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.